Gardeners love wood ash, but most don't realize it has a hidden side that quietly ruins soil. Every year, well-meaning gardeners sprinkle ash, thinking it helps plants, only to disrupt soil pH and harm seedlings. Just one handful from the wrong source, painted or treated wood, for example, can undo months of careful gardening. Today, we'll explore how to use wood ash safely, which plants benefit, which are harmed, and simple steps to protect your garden while still taking advantage of this natural mineral boost. Meet Mrs. Eleanor Briggs, a 74-year-old retired school librarian who had spent decades nurturing young minds, and just as passionately her garden. Every summer, her backyard overflowed with vibrant tomato plants. Neighbors and friends would line up just to taste her tomatoes, famously sweet and bursting with flavor. Gardening wasn't just a hobby for Mrs. Briggs. It was her daily joy, a gentle routine that kept her active and connected to her community. One spring, however, things took an unexpected turn. Eleanor noticed her tomatoes weren't thriving the way they usually did. The bright green leaves began to yellow, growth slowed, and the plants looked tired despite her careful attention. She checked her watering schedule, her compost, even her pruning habits. Everything seemed right, so what could be wrong? At first, she felt frustrated and a little embarrassed. After all, she had decades of gardening experience. But the turning point came when she attended a local gardening group meeting. Other seniors shared tips, exchanged stories, and Eleanor listened quietly, curious but still puzzled. When the discussion turned to soil care, someone mentioned wood ash. They explained that while wood ash can add valuable minerals like potassium and calcium, using it incorrectly or using ash from treated or painted wood can upset soil balance and even harm plants. That's when it clicked. For weeks, Eleanor had been sprinkling ash generously across her tomato beds, thinking she was giving her plants a boost. She hadn't realized that the type and amount of ash mattered so much. Her well-intentioned habit had inadvertently stressed her soil, affecting nutrient absorption and stunting growth. Eleanor didn't feel ashamed. She felt enlightened. She immediately started making small changes. She tested her soil pH, learned which plants actually benefit from ash, and began applying it in controlled, safe amounts. Within weeks, her tomatoes bounced back. Leaves regained their vibrant green. Flowers bloomed, and soon, the sweet, juicy tomatoes returned, better than ever. This story isn't just about tomatoes. It's about the gentle lessons gardening teaches us at any age. Even experienced hands can make small mistakes, and that's okay. What matters is curiosity, learning, and making small adjustments to care for the garden and ourselves better. For seniors, Eleanor's experience is relatable because it blends warmth, a touch of nostalgia, and practical guidance. Mistakes happen, but they can be corrected without stress or fear. Using wood ash the right way is simple once you understand the basics, and it can help your plants thrive without harming the soil you've worked so hard to nurture. What wood ash actually does to soil. Wood ash is a common byproduct from burning wood, and many gardeners love it because it's natural, free, and full of minerals. But what exactly does it do to soil? Understanding this is key, especially for seniors who want healthy, thriving plants without accidentally causing harm. The first thing to know is that wood ash is alkaline. This means it can raise the pH of your soil. Soil pH is a measure of how acidic or alkaline the ground is, and most garden plants thrive in a slightly acidic to neutral range. When soil becomes too alkaline, plants have a harder time absorbing nutrients, even if those nutrients are present. Wood ash also contains valuable minerals such as potassium and calcium, along with trace minerals like magnesium and phosphorus. These nutrients are essential for plant growth. Potassium helps with fruit and flower development. Calcium strengthens stems, and trace minerals support overall plant health. Used in the right amounts, wood ash can give your soil a helpful boost, almost like a gentle vitamin for plants. But here's the caution. Too much wood ash can upset the balance. Imagine making a pot of soup. A little salt enhances the flavor, but too much salt can ruin the whole pot. The same is true for your garden soil. Over-application of wood ash can make the soil overly alkaline, blocking plants from taking up essential nutrients like iron, manganese, and zinc. This can lead to yellowing leaves, poor growth, and weak fruit, problems Eleanor Briggs faced with her tomatoes. Certain plants are particularly sensitive to high pH. Tomatoes, blueberries, potatoes, and many fruiting plants prefer slightly acidic soil. Using wood ash indiscriminately can make these plants struggle. On the other hand, plants like lilacs, clematis, or cabbage are more tolerant of alkaline soil and may benefit more from occasional ash applications. Another important factor is the source of the ash. Ash from untreated, natural wood is generally safe. Avoid ash from painted, stained, or treated wood, as it can contain harmful chemicals that will damage soil and plants. So, how can seniors use wood ash safely? Think of it as seasoning your soil. A little goes a long way. Test your soil's pH regularly, sprinkle ash sparingly, and focus on plants that respond well to a slight increase in alkalinity. When done right, wood ash can help your garden flourish. When done wrong, it can quietly hold your plants back, without any obvious warning. In short, wood ash is a gentle helper when measured, but a silent troublemaker if overused. By understanding what it does to soil and which plants benefit or struggle, you can confidently use this natural resource to your advantage, keeping your garden healthy, productive, and joyful. The 3 common mistakes gardeners make with wood ash. Wood ash can be a wonderful natural addition to your garden, but only when used carefully. Many gardeners, even experienced ones, make mistakes that quietly harm their soil and plants. Let's look at the 3 most common mistakes, why they happen, and how to avoid them. 1. Adding ash to soil every week. It might seem helpful to sprinkle a little wood ash each week, thinking your plants will grow faster. But frequent ash applications can quickly raise soil pH beyond healthy levels, making it too alkaline. When soil is too alkaline, plants struggle to absorb essential nutrients like iron, manganese, and zinc. The result? Yellowing leaves, weak growth, and smaller harvests. Imagine seasoning soup. 1 pinch of salt enhances flavor, but adding salt every day will make the whole pot inedible. The same is true for your soil. Moderation is key. Test your soil's pH periodically and only add ash when needed, not on a strict schedule. 2. Spreading ash around acid-loving plants. Some plants prefer slightly acidic soil, and wood ash works against them. Acid-loving plants include blueberries, potatoes, and strawberries. Sprinkling ash around them can stunt growth, yellow leaves, or reduce fruit quality. Think of giving someone a hot cup of tea. They like it a certain way, with just the right sugar. Wood ash can sweeten some soils, but for acid-loving plants, it's like adding salt instead of sugar. They don't like it at all. Tip: keep a small section of your garden free of ash if you grow acid-loving plants, and focus ash use on vegetables and flowers that tolerate or benefit from slightly higher pH. 3. Using ash from painted or treated wood. Not all ash is safe. Ash from clean, untreated firewood is generally fine, but ash from painted wood, plywood, furniture, or paper with inks can contain harmful chemicals. These chemicals can damage soil structure and harm plants, sometimes slowly and silently. It's like adding a chemical cleaning agent to soup. You might not see immediate damage, but it's unsafe for your ingredients. Tip: only use ash from natural wood, logs from your fireplace, a wood stove, or safely sourced firewood. Never use charcoal briquettes, often mixed with additives, or treated wood. Summary: by avoiding these 3 mistakes, over-applying ash, spreading it near acid-loving plants, and using unsafe sources, you can safely enjoy the benefits of wood ash without harming your soil. Remember, gardening is about gentle care and observation. A little knowledge goes a long way, and your plants will thank you with healthy leaves, flowers, and fruit. When wood ash is actually useful. After learning about the mistakes and risks, it's easy to think wood ash is more trouble than it's worth. But used wisely, it can be a quiet helper in your garden, especially for seniors who enjoy seeing visible results without stress. Let's explore when and how wood ash can actually benefit your soil and plants. 1. When soil is too acidic. Some soils naturally become very acidic over time, especially in areas with heavy rainfall or certain types of clay. Acidic soil can make it difficult for plants to absorb key nutrients like calcium, magnesium, and phosphorus. In these situations, a small, measured sprinkle of wood ash can gently raise the pH to a healthier level, helping your plants thrive. Tip: test your soil first. Only add ash if the pH is low. Remember, a little goes a long way. Start with small amounts and monitor the change. 2. Growing alkaline-tolerant plants. Some vegetables and flowers actually prefer or tolerate slightly alkaline soil. Examples include asparagus, thrives in mildly alkaline soil for stronger spears. Brassicas, cabbage, broccoli. Cauliflower, benefit from the potassium and calcium in ash. Certain flowering perennials enjoy the mineral boost without being harmed by higher pH. For these plants, a light dusting of ash can improve growth and nutrient uptake. Just remember to avoid heavy, repeated applications, which can still raise pH too much. 3. Lightly dusting compost. Wood ash isn't just for soil, it can improve your compost. Sprinkling a small amount over a compost pile can balance odors, especially if your compost contains kitchen scraps that can smell strong. Help regulate moisture by absorbing excess dampness. Add trace minerals that enrich finished compost. Again, moderation is key. A thin, even layer every few weeks is all you need. 4. Boosting potassium in compost piles. Potassium is a vital nutrient for strong stems, healthy leaves, and abundant fruit. Wood ash naturally contains potassium, and adding a small handful to your compost pile can increase potassium levels. This makes your finished compost more nutrient-rich for your garden. Tip: always mix ash into the compost rather than leaving a pile on top. It spreads the minerals evenly and prevents localized pH spikes. The golden rule: a little goes a long way. The key takeaway for seniors is simple. Wood ash is helpful in small doses, harmful in excess. Treat it like a seasoning, not a fertilizer. By observing your plants, testing your soil, and applying ash thoughtfully, you can safely enjoy its benefits: healthier soil, stronger plants, and more bountiful harvests. Wood ash isn't a miracle cure, but when used correctly, it's a gentle, natural tool that supports your gardening wisdom. Just as Eleanor Briggs learned, the secret is knowledge, moderation, and patience, qualities every seasoned gardener already has. How to use wood ash safely. Wood ash can be a quiet helper in the garden, but only if used carefully. For seniors, the goal is simple: maximize benefits while avoiding mistakes. Follow these steps, and you can use wood ash safely, confidently, and effectively. Step 1. Test your soil pH. Before adding any ash, check your soil's acidity with an inexpensive pH test kit. These kits are easy to use. You just dip a strip or mix soil with a solution, and the color tells you the pH. Most garden plants thrive in slightly acidic to neutral soil, pH 6 to 7. If your soil is already neutral or slightly alkaline, skip adding ash. If the soil is acidic, pH below 6, a small sprinkle of ash can help balance it. Tip: testing is like checking your car's fuel gauge. You want just the right level, not too much or too little. Step 2. Apply a thin, light sprinkle. A little goes a long way. Use your hand or a small scoop to lightly sprinkle ash over the soil. Avoid shoveling large amounts. Over-application can raise pH too quickly and stress your plants. Target the base of plants rather than spreading ash in thick layers across the garden. Work ash gently into the top inch of soil with a rake or hand tool. Step 3. Never mix ash with nitrogen fertilizers. Wood ash contains potassium and calcium, but no nitrogen. Mixing it with nitrogen-rich fertilizers can cause ammonia release, which can burn plant roots and harm your soil ecosystem. Apply ash separately from any nitrogen fertilizers like blood meal, urea, or manure. Wait at least a few weeks between applications to avoid chemical reactions. Tip: patience is part of safe gardening. Let each addition do its job before adding the next. Step 4. Keep ash dry and stored away from pets. Store wood ash in a dry, covered container. Moisture can turn ash into a chalky paste that's harder to use, and some pets might be curious about it. Keep the container out of reach of dogs or cats. Store in a garage, shed, or a secure bin. Tip: treat ash like a pantry ingredient: clean, dry, and carefully stored. Step 5. Apply only once or twice a year if needed. Unlike chemical fertilizers that are often added frequently, wood ash doesn't need regular applications. Most gardens only require a light sprinkle once or twice per year. Spring is a good time, before planting, to gently adjust soil pH. Fall applications can help balance soil for the next growing season. Tip: Less is more. Watch your plant's response and adjust slowly. Reassurance for seniors. Wood ash is not a dangerous chemical. It's a natural, mineral-rich byproduct that, when used thoughtfully, supports plant health. Following these 5 simple steps keeps your soil balanced, protects your plants, and gives you peace of mind. Remember, moderation, observation, and careful timing are your best friends. Eleanor Briggs' story reminds us that even experienced gardeners can make mistakes, but with knowledge and patience, small adjustments lead to thriving, vibrant gardens. After weeks of struggling with yellowing leaves and stunted growth, Mrs. Eleanor Briggs finally saw her garden bounce back. The tomatoes regained their rich green color, flowers bloomed, and fruit ripened beautifully. The relief she felt wasn't just about the harvest, it was about confidence and understanding. She realized that gardening isn't just about doing. It's about learning and adjusting. For Eleanor, and for every senior gardener, this moment of clarity is deeply rewarding. It proves that experience plus knowledge equals success, and that even small adjustments can transform the garden and the gardener's spirit. Remember, your generation grew gardens long before expensive fertilizers existed. You've cultivated patience, observation, and ingenuity. As Eleanor discovered, a little wisdom and balance often go farther than anything money can buy. Every leaf, every bloom, and every harvest reflects decades of learning and care. Seniors love sharing their stories and tips. Simple questions encourage conversation, connection, and community. Here are a few prompts to spark engagement. Have you ever used wood ash in your garden? How did it work for you? What old-fashioned garden tricks do you swear by? Do you prefer compost, manure, or simple kitchen scraps? These questions do more than generate comments. They honor the gardener's wisdom. Encourage viewers to reply, share photos, or offer advice. Creating space for their voices makes seniors feel seen, valued, and part of a supportive community. Gardening is full of lessons, and wood ash is no exception. It's not the enemy. It's a reminder that even good things become harmful when used without understanding. Every mistake is a gentle teacher, every adjustment a small victory. Just like Eleanor Briggs, we can approach gardening and life with patience and curiosity. Observing, learning, and applying knowledge thoughtfully leads to thriving plants, satisfying harvests, and a deeper connection to our garden and ourselves. Give this video a like, share it with a gardener you love, and subscribe to the Evergreen Seniors, where growing older means growing wiser. Your experience, stories, and questions make this community richer. Together, we celebrate knowledge, patience, and the joy of watching gardens flourish. Season after season,